Yeah, so how do you create your targets and how do you scale? And I'll begin with Doji.
Okay, thank you. So how target based based on what we are doing, for example, when we are developing workshop, for example, for kids, so our various workshops. So we have first, the target is, for example, the kids and key 12 kids, because we want to give them this approach of learning by doing, for example, and so that they can develop various skills. Because based on our experience in the different country regarding the lecture or the process of learning, so it's very, I mean, the process are not updated. Then we need to find new ways to teach, new ways to develop this step of getting skills. And first we target students, key 12 students, and then we go to the entrepreneurs, because also the entrepreneurs need to have facilities, tools to develop their projects, for example, to make the first prototype. And we don't have laboratory, so based on the Fab Labs facilities and tools, they can develop the first prototypes. So this is the second one. And how to scale. And now to scale, it's sometimes very hard, because most of it's not depend of our skills or our capabilities, but it's depend of the means, because we have most of the times for non-profits, most of the labs, and if you don't have resources, I mean money, you cannot easily scale. And to scale, the reason why we have set up, for example, we are joining some networks. By joining these networks, we have more resources, like it can be, those resources can be human resources also. It can be some projects supported by the network. And if you are among the network, you can develop other projects through the network projects, and then scale up. But it's quite hard, but not impossible, but we are doing step by step and to scale as we can. Yeah.
Great, thank you. How about you, Martin?
I think you're on mute.
Yeah, he's on mute.
Sorry. Can you repeat the question, please?
So how do you determine your targets for Fab Lab Winner, and how do you scale your projects? How do you plan?
All right. Actually, our target, because we have different targets, and let me just start with kids, which I have been putting a lot of energy in. We look at what they have, and then we start from that point. For example, when we are dealing with kids in the slum, then we look at what they have, and then we look at their environment and start with whatever they know in the environment, and then we are able to build from that. For example, we learned that when you start introducing robotics to some kids, then it scares them away. They are not able to jump into the game and start, because it is a little bit high level to them. So we know which kind of kids are we able to introduce to what, and which kind of kids can we introduce to traditional kind of making, and then slowly we will graduate them to the higher level. So that is how we do it. If we are getting, let's say, to a university targeting probably engineering students, then we will get into what we know they need and they are lacking. For example, we find out that they don't have access to Arduinos and all that. Now we can go in with a practical on Arduino, and then they get excited on the practice. And after that, now we are now able to have a conversation on co-creating a program for them. How we are able to scale, it has been a challenge, but just like Duji has said, we only leverage on collaborations. So if we get a partner who is working on something, and then we look at how best we can align ourselves with them, and we end up achieving the objective that we are supposed to achieve while they are also achieving. So basically, that is what we do. Thank you.
Great. And how about you, Eva?
Regarding our target, we are really serving the African youth while we are targeting the unprivileged. So as I said, our model is very inclusive. So we try to bring together young people from very different backgrounds, educational backgrounds and so on. On average, our learners are 22 years old and 20% of them did not finish high school. And we are also very happy to be with 30% of women, as it's quite rare for the tech education. So that was our target. And regarding our scale, of course, we're planning to scale up. We'd like to scale in West Africa. So we have plans for Ghana and another campus in Mali in the coming years. But for now, yeah, we do have one campus in Bamako, but the plan is to extend, of course.
Great. And how about you, Zia?
I'll say, okay, thank you for the question. So for the participant, I would say, I think the most of the panelists said the most, that they said the most, so they shared the most on that one. But what I would add for kids here is just like Martin was saying, I live in the capital city, so kids in the capital city have already access to TV and some technology, so we can do few activities with them. Well, but my preferred target personally is kids in rural area, because they don't have the chance to see few things, and the idea is not to show them things that they won't have access to, but to show them things that they can make with what they have in their environment, like Martin said, and to show them possibilities that they can have. So that's how we look for target when we come to the social part. But then before going to the scaling up and growing, we need resources like Mr. Hunu and the others said. So for that one, we also have a second target here, which is businesses that we can do prototyping service for, and they pay, actually we charge them. So we use that money to develop our activities, and we are thinking of developing few products for schools that will also help us gather a few resources. And of course, we can count on our network, like the AirFAO and the other network we have here, and also the other lab. So one thing very interesting with the Fab Lab, and when it comes to sustainable entrepreneurship, is for us, and personally for me, it's not like we don't have to be in each and every city. So if we have either a co-working space or whatever there, we just partner with them and run activities together. So we don't have to spend resources moving from here to go there. If they don't have the resources, we send them the material, we send them the equipment and everything, and they can do the workshop and everything then. So we set up a program together. Either they will come and share here, we go there and share with them. So that help reach target that are not necessarily in our direct environment, and also leveraging on what we have in our network. And yeah, so we are based in the capital city. We are not thinking of scaling up to the other city, but we are looking for people that will be open to work together for that matter. And for resources, we charge businesses. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And to the attendees, we may have run by 5 minutes slightly. I also recommend that you connect with our speakers as well on LinkedIn to find out more about the organisation. And I do know that we do have Uncle Von here today, and also Karaya. So I have a question for them. Why did they decide to study at Kabaku Academies? Why did they decide to learn there? What impact did it have on them? So I believe they're here on the panel.
Modibo is supposed to be there because I can see his, not the screen, but his name.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Hi. If you unmute.
Yeah.
Ok, et voilà, je pense qu'on va parler, vous allez traduire ou bien, parce que notre anglais là, c'est un peu catastrophique. Ok, donc si je comprends bien, la question c'est qu'est-ce qui nous a poussé à venir à Kabako et l'impact de Kabako?
Ouais, c'est ça.
Ok, donc, ok, voilà, et comme pour nous, Kabako c'est vraiment incroyable parce que c'est une école assez différente. Comme Eva l'a expliqué ici, nous, la méthodologie d'apprentissage est vraiment assez unique. Donc, l'accès d'abord aux structures, comment on va dire, au matériel, parce que ici au Mali, c'est vraiment difficile d'avoir une éducation de qualité, d'avoir les ressources, parce que même l'accès à la connexion Internet, c'est vraiment difficile. Il faut vraiment, il faut vraiment être, on va dire, assez riche ou bien avoir au moins de l'argent, donc pour pouvoir s'éduquer convenablement. Donc, il y a aussi la méthode d'apprentissage. Ici à Kabago, nous, on fait tout ensemble. Il y a différents projets, mais on travaille tous ensemble avec l'équipe A20, avec d'autres équipes. Quand quelqu'un n'a pas une connaissance sur tel truc, il y a l'autre qui est là pour l'aider. Il y a aussi l'accès aux mentors. Voilà, Kabago nous permet d'accéder à des mentors internationaux, des mentors qui sont, je ne sais pas, en Europe, en Amérique, donc qui nous aident beaucoup. Parce que comme on a expliqué aussi, notre projet et nos machines, c'est basé sur des modèles précieux plastiques dont le promoteur Dave Watkins
I think the connection just stopped. I'm just going to try to translate all that already.
Go for it, please do.
So he says that they like the methodology that is quite different from what they have been experienced before. And they really like the blend model, which gives them access to our physical infrastructure, sorry. And the tools that they can use there, as it's quite difficult for Africa. And also we provide them a stable internet connection, which is quite rare apparently as well. So this is really about the structure, but also the mentors, the access to the international mentors who can teach them different stuff. And yeah, that's the sentence they use all the time. It's we do together. So that means that every project is being done as a team, but also different teams, everyone can have everyone else. So they share everything and they help each other when the other one is having a problem, issue, or cannot advance as a project. So I think I tried to sum up everything he said.
That's fabulous.
Thanks, Modibo.
Thank you. So we have a question from Danielle. What are the environmental benefits of your activity? I'm going to merge it with another question. What are the environmental and social benefits of your activities? And we're going to begin with Martin.
All right. I think the environmental benefits is that the activities that we do, we create a space where people are able to do recycling of some materials. For example, I remember when we started doing another activity with kids, we were asking them to pick the plastics, which we were using to connect with electronics to make things like lamp, to make various things. So basically, they were recycling plastic and giving it a new use. And of course, there are a number of things. Even when we are working with woodwork, the remaining parts can always be used for making something else. So this is really helping in environmental conservation. What was the second part of it? You are on mute.
I know, I was trying to avoid that. It happened. The environmental and social impact of your activities, the social.
Yes. Yeah, so social impact is great. Actually, one of the reasons why Fab Lab Winam was located where it is because there has been during elections, there has been a lot of youths going to the streets and creating wars and all that. And one of our targets was to ensure that those youths can tap into the trainings and start making things and keep them busy, because for the longest time, whenever there is political issues, they move there. So the social impact that I can say is that a number of young people are now able to access the space and able to make more useful out of their lives than the way they have been. Thank you.
Thank you. How about you, Zia?
Okay, thank you for that. So for me, I think that in part, aside with the social aspect, I think empowering young student kids and kids in difficult situation is very important socially, because now they have the they start seeing themselves as a solution provider instead of being just consumer and or just being helpless. They can see themselves build something, because with the makerspace and our activity, we use local resources that they have around. Sometimes with resources that they have, they can only access through the makerspace or the Fab Lab to create a change, to create a solution. So that really helps them in seeing themselves as a solution provider. And while going through their school curriculum, they are more interested, because whatever is science, mostly mathematics, even me, I personally, I don't really like mathematics, but if I know that I can use mathematics to help my mom or to provide a solution for my country, then I would be really interested. I didn't have that chance, but I think if I had that chance back then, I would be good in mathematics. I like physics, but not mathematics. So this is something important. We are raising change makers and challengers that can bring solution locally and solution that can serve even the whole world. And on the environmental point, what I would just say is that if you have people that can think local production, local manufacturing, and just share techniques and innovation, because that's what the makerspace movement is doing. If I have a makerspace here and we are producing something, I just have to share the design with a makerspace either in Senegal or in France, and with the 3D printer, they can replicate that. I don't have to use a lot of resources here to do the production and then ship it either to cargo or and some ways that will pollute the environment. So just that is helping the environment, because we are producing locally, we are transforming what we have locally, and that also helps the economic aspect too. Thank you.
Thank you. How about you, Eva?
For the environment, on the campus itself, we're trying to use renewable energy, such as solar panel, if I'm not wrong, if you can say it that way in English, great. So on the campus, we're trying to be environmental friendly, but also, as you can see with Kuraya, on the projects that are being developed, I mean, it's an upcycling project, so it's of course useful for the environment and all the plastic waste. We have also other projects that are focusing on the environment. We have an agri-tech project that is focusing on the irrigation, a more sustainable irrigation for the agriculture. So I would say through our project, through our campus, and regarding the social impacts, well, of course, we're trying to target the unprivileged youth. And as I said before, we really try to empower our learners to go beyond the tech skills. It's really about the lifelong learning, and we want that everything they learn at Kabaku, it has to be useful for them in every aspect of their lives. Even after they left, it has to be useful for their entire life. And I mean, every project that they develop are being useful for the local communities, which is very key to what we do. So, yeah.
Thanks. And how about your network, Dodgy?
Yeah, thank you. It's quite the same, but first I would just like for social impacts regarding the education. So we need to educate people to give them skills, provide them skills, and provide them tools to develop their own countries, their own communities. This is one of the major aspect of the network. And when you develop this community of learners, you're developing the small manufacturing areas located in every community. Then the people can develop themselves activities that they can use to the local issues, to solve local issues. And regarding the environment aspect, so what we are promoting, Yusia said it earlier, we are promoting how you can, how people can design or create useful object or useful material for the local needs by avoiding the main, the main step that big manufacturer or big companies used to do. So you have to send, for example, the plant to Europe or China, then it will be designed there and come back here. When you see all these steps, it's like for the environment, it's not, it's bad, okay? And we are also promoting solar, for example, solar energy, recycling stuff, how they can recycle material to develop a new one, and so on and so on. So we are giving to the people the base. With this basis of knowledge, they can have, it can have social impacts and then also environmental impacts. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We have so many questions, but unfortunately we're out of time. I really want to thank all of our panelists and our attendees for coming along today. We really do hope that we've given you food for thought and things to take away and set up your own sustainable enterprises. And again, a big thank you to the Africa Centre in collaboratively delivering this with Learning Connected. Tomorrow is the last day of our webinar series. Please do join us. Please do connect with all of us. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you, everyone, and goodbye.